It's always interesting as we go through this process over and over again, the different type of people that we meet. And I'll tell you one thing, success leaves clues, but game plans are different. There's a reason why each year, typically a different team wins a world championship because they have different models and different strategies. The common denominator, though, of course, is consistency, which we know, and the approach on how to scale. Well, the same thing applies in business. And today we're gonna meet with a gentleman very shortly that's gonna take us through his journey, his entrepreneurial journey, which has been incredible. But at the end of the day, we're also gonna get into understanding tax code. We know that there's about 80,000 IRS agents that are come marching down into the neighborhoods over the next 3 or 4 years for purposes of the money that's being spent to be recaptured by the government. But with that being said, we're gonna meet with a gentleman that has had so many different success tracks. And along the way, like every entrepreneur, we learn from things of not to make the same mistake twice, right? And at the end of the day, if we understand that and what it looks like, it's always important to be able to make sure the right hand is speaking to the left hand when it comes to your money, time, and magic in your business. And it's always important to understand what your goals and objectives are. Do me a favor, grab a pen and piece of paper. We're going to take you on a journey, take these notes, rewind this tape because you're about to learn, especially if you're in the home business model. And listen, one of the questions that is going to be brought up or that we're going to discover is what are the tax benefits to living in Puerto Rico? Because as we go through this process and learn all these different ideas, it's really about putting money back into your pocket where it belongs. Anyway, let me introduce my guest, Ryan Moriarty.
Hey, how you doing today?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Great, man. Great.
I can't thank you first of all, thank you for being on the show today.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
No worries.
We connected last week, had some good conversations.
Yes, sir.
I had the good fortune of meeting you last week afterwards. And, listen, whenever you meet people, you're jiving, if there's a connection or not, the entrepreneurial vibe that I get from you, who is like off the charts book smart, is incredible.
Well, thank you.
So I wanted to thank you so much for being on the show today and super grateful. The entrepreneurs that watch us, they're going to learn so much from you and your journey. I know they are.
Yeah.
And like what it looks like to be able to overcome certain things and at the same time, how to scale and then be able to survive success.
Yes, sir.
Right? Like that's what it's all about.
I believe so.
So including the 83-day journey that you've been on currently, which, by the way, I can't imagine the frequency that you're kicking off right now.
Yeah.
Which is probably why we're on this podcast and you're able to manifest
Probably
this.
is, yeah.
So Ryan, real quick, where did it all start? Like, where are you from?
All right. Well, I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yep.
So I grew up there. It's
siblings, neighborhood. Like, what was early?
I had 2 older brothers.
Okay.
So there were 3 of us. We were, pretty rambunctious. Everyone played football.
So the older brothers beat you up early on.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When I was like in my 30s, someone came up to me and was like, "I just remember when you were a kid, how much your brothers used to beat you up." I was like, what? Like 26 years later, that's what he remembered me for.
And like you forgot about it until you brought it to your attention.
No, man. I remember I would go in.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
And what was the age difference?
Oh, 5, which is tough, and then 3.
Wow.
So I didn't win very much.
Were they like you? Were they good football players?
Yeah. My oldest brother was a Division III All-American defensive tackle. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then my other brother was captain of his team, and he was really good. He was a ridiculous athlete, but he wasn't interested in doing college sports. So.
But he played multiple sports. Is that
yeah. He got 4th in the shot put.
Wow.
At like 175 pounds.
And how was
at 175 pounds? Everybody else,
it's like
everybody else was 250. Yeah. 175 pounds. He got 4th in the shot put. State of Massachusetts.
That's actually amazing.
It was ridiculous.
Is that record still?
Well, 4th. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's a record or not, but it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he was 85, somewhere around there, but he was not 250 like everybody else.
Unbelievable.
And my dad says, I believe it, most of what my dad says, that he had one that was the furthest, but he just walked out of the front. He left the thing, but he didn't. You have to go around back to leave it. So he was done, and he made it, but he just like decided to walk out the front because he wasn't thinking or whatever. So he could have won.
Got it. That's incredible. So tell me a little bit about your parents.
Like
what did they do for a living?
Yeah.
What were some of the values they instilled early on with you, and how it made you the person you are today?
Totally. So my dad's a lawyer. He was he's a labor lawyer mostly. So that was cool. I think that came from his grandfather was a firefighter, so he worked with the Springfield firefighters.
Blue collar mindset.
Very blue collar mindset. Yep. And then my mom, she was a school teacher. Okay. Yeah, like 3rd grade, and she also she's Lithuanian, so 100% Lithuanian.
Okay.
So like Eastern European. So
Yep.
that was very like, don't complain, don't cry.
She was tough.
Yeah. But just more like, just don't complain,
Yeah.
And I guess that's tough in a way. Yeah. But so loving. My mom is so wonderful and so loving. And my dad was awesome, I think with the older brothers, he didn't get to spend as much time with me, but it's all right. He did so much for me,
Yeah.
and it's he was on his journey as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're still together. They're still together.
Wow.
Yeah. And,
How many years?
50 or 51.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, they met at Amherst College, and she was at UMass Amherst, and he was at Amherst College in Massachusetts. And
amazing.
They met there. Yeah.
So like every night at dinner, grammar school to high school, it was always like just
it's a
competition.
Well, there was a lot of milk drank. I mean, we would we would go through a gallon and a half, man, like every meal. It was crazy. Yeah. And so I remember that was a big thing. I still drink milk.
Yeah.
I don't know why people stop. It's I don't recommend it. Milk is it's great.
The milk is it's where we were brought up on that. So tell me a little bit, like, you're an athlete yourself. You played high school football.
Yeah, in college football too.
And you were, as I understand it, pretty smart academically. Is that
yeah,
safe to?
Yeah. So no, I was.
Did academics come easy for you, or were you a discipline? Did you study?
I definitely had like some sort of learning disability with like spelling and stuff when I was younger. So that was really hard. So but that was before high school. But like third grade, I was in like a lot of the special classes. You know what I mean, for the English.
Yeah.
And then, but I was such a troublemaker too. Not a trouble. I was
rambunctious.
Yeah. It didn't work for me. School didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
And then, but like fifth grade is when I started to like kind of like get myself together. I made an honor roll for the first time in fifth grade.
Felt good.
Yeah.
Natural endorphin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Well, the penmanship was always a problem.
Yeah.
I can't write. Like, what do you want me to do? This is the best I can do. Like, my hand hurts. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. School's hard.
Yeah. So
you get to high school.
Yeah. So I got to high school. Yeah. And in high school, I think like taking the SATs, like, the PSATs or whatever, I just scored like way higher than my friends. Yeah. And it wasn't even that high, but it was higher than my friends, like 1270 or something. But then by the time I was done with the SAT, yeah. So
what was your final SAT score?
I was like 1400 or something.
Was
but
it really?
Yeah. Wow. It was down. It was like down the English side, but the GRE before grad school.
Yeah.
I like this one. I scored, GRE is like people went to college and then they take it, and there was a quantitative, and there's three. There's English, quantitative, and logic, basically.
Yeah.
I got 90. It was a 790 and 780 in the quantitative and logic. So yeah, my brain worked, but I'm really good at that.
Seems like it's better with time too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It seems like it gets better with time for sure.
So you played high school football though?
Yes, sir.
All the way to Amherst.
Yeah.
Was your high school, were they a good team? Do you have a good team?
Yeah.
Like good coach, like life values, stuff like that. Like anything that stands out.
So let's see. Like freshman year it was a disaster. We lost every game, and it was horrible. And then sophomore, that was my freshman team. And then sophomore year, I played some varsity, but I got hurt for some of it. And then junior year, we had a new coach come in, and I started on both sides of the ball that year.
Wow.
And then I went to prep school because my goal forever was to become a Division I football player, but it didn't quite work out. But so I went down to prep school to repeat 11th grade. So I did 11, 11, and then 12. And
which prep school?
Suffield Academy.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. It was a good school. I really like blossomed there and got to do like a lot of different things. Yeah, the classes were real good.
That extra year helps too. That age.
Yeah, I was young for my grade.
That's what I'm saying.
That was it was nice to be old for my age.
Yeah,
for my grade.
Yeah. So you go to Amherst?
Yep.
Crushing it?
Yeah.
Were they good football?
We were good. Yeah, we were good. My senior year, 6-2. We beat Williams my sophomore year and my senior year, which was like the game. That was the most important game by far.
Yeah.
So when we beat them my sophomore year, it was the first time we beat them in 14 years.
Wow.
We actually tore down the goalpost. Yep. All of the students ran on this field, jumped up on the goalpost, tore down the goalpost.
Yeah.
And we actually broke one off. We broke one of the poles off. We put it in my mom's we put it in my mom's, what was it? Her like station wagon.
Yeah.
It was a big pole hanging out by the back. We took it. We put it up in our dorm room.
Yeah.
We had to return it, but
that's great.
It was super fun.
College was so much fun. I went in Vermont. I went to Castleton State College.
Oh, nice, man.
I think it bordered. Where I went to school was about maybe 45, 50 minutes away from South Adams or Adams State or something like that in Massachusetts. I forget the name of the school.
Okay. Yeah.
But I went there a couple of times. That was always a fun experience.
Nice.
So you took your GRE. So did you go to graduate school?
Yeah. So
now, did you know what you wanted to be at this point? Or?
No. I really didn't have much direction on exactly what I was going to do. So that's always that was a thing for a while. Looking back on it, someone should probably just sat me down and be like, just go be an investment banker. Like you went to Amherst. Like this is really no, but I didn't know. And
it's hard though.
What's that?
It's hard.
Oh no, I know.
You know what I mean? Like
it's
always tough to figure.
Don't really
out.
explain the world.
Yeah,
though, you know what I mean? Like that. I like that's one thing I want to give my kids is like just really good explanation of the world and how it works and how to optimally place yourself in the world to be successful.
Yeah.
And I definitely didn't feel like I had that. So, but I was really, really good in computer science. On the first time I ever took a computer science test, I got a 114. Wow. And that's it was better than everybody. In
so
the
class. Like anyone that's watching, right? What is 2 years old? What is computer science versus computers, technology versus science?
It's programming.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually had no idea what it was when I took it in college.
So if you explain it like we're little, because this leads to your first part of your journey.
Yeah.
Right?
So computer science is basically when you first start, it's like, can you program? All right. Like you can't continue in computer science if you can't program.
Is that like ones and zeros and
no? That's like if then.
And...
That's like if you're trying to do something simple like a blackjack, right? Like so, if greater than 21, then fail. You know what I mean? Then you bust or whatever, right? So if then statements, pretty much, And so that's the foundation of it. But then after that, you start. There's a couple different paths. There's like applications of it. So that's like creating like an operating system to run your entire computer. Yep. That involves a little bit getting down to the ones and zeros, But mostly everything's a programming language. And then there's algorithms, which is the track that I took, which is more mathematical because I was also very good at math. I have a double major in math and computer science from Amherst College. I graduated magna cum laude.
Oh, smack!
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And
so you were on fire at this point, like you were in rhythm.
Yeah, no, because at some point I had okay grades my freshman sophomore year, but then I think my junior year I wanted to go to grad school. Yeah, and so that was like because of encouragement for most of my I would meet my professors and they'd be like, you're really good at this, you should do this, And then I remember one of my professors talked to my football coach and was like, he's really good at this, he should pursue this more.
Pay attention.
Yeah. So like there was like the push from my and that's what they did. They went
your
to
community.
Yeah. So and that's what they did. They went to grad school. So that's what they pushed me to do. You know
amazing.
What I mean?
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So I worked really hard my junior and senior year to get like straight A's, because I wanted to go to grad school. I would need good grades to do it.
Yeah, so you had a why.
What's that?
You were committed. You had a why.
Yeah, I had a why. Yeah. And I made magna cum laude. It was like if I got even 0.0001 lower, I wouldn't have. I was like on the Yeah.
And were your brothers good in school too? Like
my older brother was pretty good. My middle brother was super super smart, but he actually he passed away last year. He died of drug overdose.
Rest in peace, brother.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and he had like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder.
His whole life.
Or? When he started, he got into UPenn. Like
too much pressure.
I don't know, man. I just think what I tell people is he wasn't made for this world. You know what I mean? He was made for some other world. Just something was off,
Did you have good conversations with him through the years? And was there a connectivity there, or was was it hard?
No, it was really hard. Yeah. He was kind of doing his own thing for a while, and it wasn't nice when he was around the house. I had a tough house, man. Yeah, I had a tough house, and
thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and then when he was around, it wasn't fun. Yeah, I mean, there's always some drug problem or something going on, and then he and my older brother would get after it, and so it was tough, man. Yeah, it was tough. Yeah. So, but
you were the baby. Listen, me growing up as the youngest, I always had to make my siblings happy.
Oh yeah.
Right, and my parents, and my sister passed away from a drug overdose. Just so you know, so I know the feeling.
Yeah.
And my whole life she was addicted basically to heroin. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's a family disease. Yeah. You know what I mean? We all suffer in it.
Yeah.
I myself am sober since 1996.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so I understand what you're sharing. Thank you for that.
No, yeah, it was really hard, man. And he the last 6 years of his life he was spent in a mental institution and he just couldn't get out. And then COVID happened and he escaped and he went to a hospital and then they gave him better doses of his medicine so he was sane and he got out and he overdosed the first day. But that the not cool part, but that 30 days was the first time he was, when he went to the hospital and they actually treated him well. I think the other people wanted to keep him in there to get the money because they got all this money from the state.
Oh, yeah.
I really believe that.
Oh, yeah.
And these people fixed him in 30 days. What the was he in there for 6 years?
Exactly.
All they did was lower the amount of drugs he was on. That's all they did, literally. Literally. That's
give
it.
him some more awareness. And you probably connected with him.
Yeah. So we were FaceTime and we got to like, and like, it was like, I remember after he passed away, I was like, I just want to talk to him one more time. But like, I was like, we would have talked about the same shit that we talked about like right before he died. You know? Yeah. So, but schizophrenia, that's the average lifespan is like 40.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's really low. Yeah.
And do they know?
He
is that a family hand down? Is that?
Yeah. So I have it in my genetic code. Like I have.
Can you like get a DNA?
For it. Yeah. So I ran it through a thing. And there's, you get your DNA, 23andMe.
I've never done that yet.
No. So 23andMe, like, the Google one, they won't tell you shit, right?
Okay.
But you can download your data. You can upload your data to other websites that will tell you anything you want to know.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Got
like
it.
they're like, because they're not regulated by the FDA or whatever. They're just data scientists.
It's amazing.
And so for each of them, they like tell you the trait, like what they think it might be for, and then there's people leave comments. So there was this one like, okay, schizophrenia gene, like it's like, and every single person's like, yeah, my family has it. My family has it. My family has it. And there's a few other in my family too.
And your mom's, what was your dad? I know your mom was Lithuanian. What was your dad?
Half Irish, half Italian.
Oh boy, that's so mixed.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
boy, you got a lot going on up there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot going on.
Did you have like a lot of relatives and stuff growing up?
No, my cousins were in Maine, Okay, so and then there was some. I had one cousin in Springfield. But not, we didn't spend that much time together. So, but we'd go up to Maine for, a year, a week every year. Yeah. And that was awesome. But it was really us five, and where we lived outside of Springfield, we lived in this town called Munson. We lived on like 26 acres, which was like
really?
Yeah. And so we didn't have really many neighbors.
Yeah.
And we would just go play in the woods, man. It was like 26 acres of fun woods. We had 3 streams running through it. Yeah. And we'd go trounce through the streams. We'd always come in with our shoes wet.
Did you do like the 4-wheeler and stuff?
I had a dirt bike, for a couple of years. Yeah, that was awesome.
That must have been fun.
It was super fun. Yeah. No, I really have some great memories of that house and that. We'd play outside, play hide. Well, kick the can actually.
Kick the can.
Yeah. We had some good rules to it though. Like it wasn't just
good rules.
Yeah, we had some good rules. Well, you like kick
somebody
the can,
got punched in the face.
Yeah, exactly. No, kick the can. You would put people in jail, right? And so then, but you come kick the can. And then, once the can's kicked, you got to like get it and put it back in place before you start spotting people again. Yeah. So it was like sprinting. We were sprinting. We were climbing trees. Yeah. Hiding, like climbing on the roof, hiding. Like it was wild, man. Amazing. Wearing all black. We'd always wear all black. Like it would be like time to kick the can. All right, let me go change all black. This is an ops mission.
You shared something before because you and I both come from the Tony Robbins tree as Sean Callaghy.
Yeah.
But about the school system, because my kids right now are in high school and grammar school.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if there was that kind of like education. Because I think people would be able to know earlier in life what they may want to do.
There's no talk of it. There's no talk of it. There's no examples of how to be successful.
Yeah.
And for me, entrepreneurship is where it's at. That's where freedom is. You know. And like I don't know why we're not trying to get people to do that.
Yeah, and we're going to get into, for the folks that are watching, why there's a lot of people for a tax break moving to Puerto Rico. So stay tuned, guys, gals. Yeah. But that's all part of entrepreneurship. Typically, entrepreneurs have home family offices, right?
Yeah. Nowadays, especially.
Yeah. So when I think of the journey you shared with me before, which I thought was amazing, you graduated college and you started your career, but it eventually led you to a high level of financial success.
Well, after my PhD. So I graduated college, and then I did another 6 years of my PhD. And then it led me to a very high level of success for a couple of years.
So where did you first work with your PhD?
I never had a job.
Okay. So
I never had a job.
So he never had a job, folks. Just pay attention. Never had a job, and he's never going to have a job.
Yeah, that's true. So I graduated. So I was actually doing my PhD, and I knew I was going to graduate. Like it was very clear. Our professors made it clear. If you publish 3 papers in this list of conferences, then you will graduate. It was like, okay, I knew that was going to happen, but it was going to take like 2 years for things to get published.
Yep.
So I took some time off, to wait for that to happen and then come back and finish it. And I I wanted to do this. Oh man, businesses were terrible when I started. And the problem was I didn't really know even what a business was, or what the function of it was, which is to make money.
Yes.
You know, that's the function of business.
Yes.
The function of business is to make money. Like, don't confuse that, you know? And that I didn't understand. And this is when everyone was raising money and stuff. And I thought you just like raise money and put together a team. And then like all of a sudden we have money and we have a team. But we're just sitting around not doing anything. It was like, okay, what do we do now?
Yes.
So that was the first one, you know, that didn't work. And then the second one, this is actually interesting. We made my buddy was like,
hold on, what was the first business though?
Oh, it was
just like go real quick,
visualization software to like move around like ideas. Like, so like if you were looking for like a movie, you could like search in like this graphical way. You know, of like you click on one thing and it would give you 5 more options. You could click through it and it would actually be like a graph. Funnel? Like no, like a graph, like a 3D like Google Maps, but like for information, right? And then there was actually one cool thing we made that was useful, but I mean, who's it useful for? You know, I mean, there's no yeah, exactly. It's like, well, you know what? No one's actually wants to do this. You know? And I think Google had something like it at one point, but it just wasn't. It wasn't like you know, it wasn't. There was no money coming in. There's no money coming in. There was not even anything to stick. It was just nothing. Yeah. You know? So so that ended. And then the second business, it was me and my girlfriend at the time, and we were looking for that just ended, and we were like trying to pay our rent, or we're trying to figure out a way. And my buddy asked me, "Oh, hey, could you, would you like as contract work build an app for this this YouTube channel?" Right? Yep. And I was like, yeah, we could do that. And I was like, we can build an app for every YouTube channel. So a Facebook app. Yeah. So we created like 100 Facebook apps, and based on the top 100 channels. And we reached out to every single one of them.
Wow, listen to this, folks.
We reached out to every single one
Innovation
of them.
and creative.
Yeah. We reached out to every single one of them. And we were like, do you want to use our software? And there was one guy at the time, Ray William Johnson was number 2. And he didn't even like respond to the email, anything, but for a few days there was a link on his channel page to our Facebook app. We got like 2,000 users and like that. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, this works. And then there was another guy, Hacker News, and he was super helpful. He was like, and this happened later too. It was someone in the community who like introduced us around the community. So he used our stuff, and we
call those the first answers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're very, very nice of him, and we became friends, and it was awesome. Yeah. So he used our software, and he introduced around the community. At one point, I think we had like maybe like 30 or 40% of the top 100 YouTube channels at the time using our Facebook
YouTube
apps.
channels.
Yeah, it was called App Rats was the name of the company.
And they were using your Facebook app.
Yeah. So it was basically like a way,
because they're not cousins, YouTube and Facebook.
No. So what we would do is we would hit up the YouTube API. Anytime a video was released, we would send a notification on Facebook, and then they could watch it on Facebook.
Hey, are you taking notes here? Oh, okay. Can you still do that today, or is that
no? Because
is there a new version of that in today's time?
Let's see.
But let's just.
No, it's
you can tell that off camera.
Okay. I mean, I think the Facebook group is the most connected thing on Facebook. Okay. So if you own a YouTube channel, I think it would make sense to have a Facebook group. But I'm a little.
So
bit
for anyone that has a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
and they want to grow their channel.
Yeah, Facebook group.
Tell them more.
I'm on Facebook. Well, and also release your content on Facebook. But the thing is, on Facebook, the group is the thing that that gets the most notifications. It gets things in people's faces. Wow. Right. And that also builds your community. And so it's a good place because your community can provide content for you as well. So I mean, I'm a little bit out of the media space nowadays. It's not what I do nowadays, but. For my casual browsing, I have a Facebook group for my accounting company.
Do you have a big group?
10,000.
Yeah, how can they find you?
It's very specific. It's for travel nurses. Travel Nurse Tax Strategy, or Travel Nurse Tax Center is what it's called now.
So what is it?
Travel Nurse Tax Center.
Yeah, right on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
What Ryan has successfully done, you think about niches, blue ocean. He's specific in what he's looking for, and that's traveling nurses, which, by the way, they can make really good money if they stick to a rigorous schedule. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
they can make really good money.
Yep. And these nurses have tax advantages that they could do based on having a home office. If you want to kind of talk about that a little bit, and we could pivot around.
Yeah, absolutely. So what was going on? Travel nurses all of a sudden started making 2 or 3 times what they were making before because of COVID, and they were in such high demand. And and that
still exists, right?
The payments are not. They haven't gone down to where they were before, but they're not where they were a year ago. You know what I mean? So, but that's a W-2 job. And if you have any sort of side hustle, or if you're trying to be an entrepreneur at all, you can have a side business, a part-time business. And if you have a part-time business, you will save money on your taxes. You will save $4,000 to $8,000 on your taxes, pretty much. I mean, if you're making $20,000, no. But I mean, like for most people, you will save between $4,000 and $8,000. If you have a business, you're working on it, you're putting effort into it, you're spending money on it, you're going to save money on your taxes.
It's amazing,
right? Yeah. And so a lot of these nurses are hustlers. A lot of them had side businesses already. We taught a lot of them how to set up a side business.
Amazing.
And that's what we did. So. And then one of the reasons why it worked so well, these travel nurses are all connected on Facebook, and we reached out to them.
Yeah. So in your Facebook community with the travel nurses, do you update stuff on them? Like, how do you communicate? How does that group work?
So we post content, and we just want to stay relevant. We want to be recognize the brand, and then it was super hot, going into tax season, but this is cool down time, what I mean? So we're starting to start again. It's like right around the start of fall is when people start thinking about their taxes, and we start getting like last week we haven't had it's how much I pay my sales guy. I don't know, like $600, right? And I haven't had a week like that, and since before tax season. So now it's starting to roll up again.
So Ryan, with your permission, can I share with the group how to merge ecosystems so they know what it looks like? Because what I'm going to say, you and I haven't done yet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But this is where people, because I'll do videos. How do you increase your business with no money? Well, you merge ecosystems. What does that look like? Well, Ryan has a community. I have a community. We sit down and we provide education.
Yeah.
If we're in the space over here of financial education, financial strategies for entrepreneurs, and you're in the space of accounting, wouldn't it make sense if we did a video to your Facebook community introducing us?
Absolutely. Yes.
See that, folks? That's how you merge ecosystems. And believe me, we didn't plan it. But whenever you look at my videos, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because if Ryan's an accountant, by the way, people that take investment advice, they love what their accountant says. They feel safe with their accountant. So if you have the right hand speaking to the left hand, the accountant, the fiduciary behind the camera, the insurance agent behind the camera, the trust officer, and everything is on one landing page, and you can see your world real time at the click of a button. Well, guess what? Ryan is the guy that is the conduit of that information. He's the quarterback that brings everybody together.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that's how we merge ecosystems, right?
Exactly.
That's exactly how we do it. So
for sure.
1 + 1 = $1 trillion if you merge ecosystems the right way with like-minded individuals. I always say this: if I'm going to merge ecosystems with anybody, I have to invite them in my living room. Yes, he has a purple dog. Yes, he's done some amazing things over the last 10 years, and you get to hear about it. But my spidey senses and my frequency senses tell me that Ryan's the type of guy that something special could be built with.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't even know about the Facebook group, but this was just kind of like
absolutely.
the organic nature of what we do
you can help
together.
set one up for yourself.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Are you for hire for that? Because to this day,
I'm not for
the people that said they were going to do my Facebook group, they failed miserably at it. So we're going to figure that one out next.
It's hard. The reason why we were able to do this in the travel nurse community is because that's where they are. So every 13 weeks, a travel nurse needs a new assignment, and Facebook is where they get those assignments a lot of the time. Also, you need advice. You need advice, and you need to know how to be a travel nurse. You can't you want advice, And there's also tons of tax questions that they have. Like being a travel nurse, your taxes are crazy. They get all these stipends that are tax free, And so they need a place to do that, and the place that travel nurses congregate is Facebook.
So wait, you don't try and get people to meet you where you are. You go where they are.
Well, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. 2 + 2 = 4. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's for all you folks out there. Whenever you want to get your message, it's not about you, it's about them. No one cares what you think. No one's here to save you. You have to be able to share with what the world thinks about. I'll do videos, dude, and I'll be like, oh my God, that's the greatest video in the world. And nobody will look at it.
Yeah.
And then the other video, which I may not have thought was great, is what everyone looked at, and that's what everybody wanted to see.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So I'm always off on that,
Yeah, that's why you test. You got to put it out there.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So do a lot of people move to Puerto Rico for the write-off? And what does that look like?
Oh, yeah.
Do they actually have to stay there for 6 months?
You have to stay there for 6 months. That's like there was an this is so funny. Like I tried to look at negative stuff about moving to Puerto Rico. And there was an article, and it was like, point number one about it is you have to move to Puerto Rico for 6 months.
Yeah.
Point number two was no, really, you have to move to Puerto Rico for 6 months. So that's the thing, and it's hard, man. It's
so
hard.
that means you can't, like, so let's say it's January 1st.
Yeah.
And I moved to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Right? It's 184 days, right?
Yeah, 83, I think, yeah.
Whatever am I allowed to come home for 2 days?
Yeah, you can, yes, just 6 months total number of days, right? Like,
so, but you got to make up those. It's like it's rain day.
But yeah,
it's like
exactly.
a rain
You got to
delay.
go back.
You got to make it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But if you go, but you get like 60 days internationally.
Yeah.
That are neutral days. They don't count as U.S. or Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So then that you can decrease, if you are international for 60 days, you can go to 153 days in Puerto Rico.
Got it. So what is the benefit?
Oh, okay.
Tax-wise.
So, yeah.
Like if I make $1 million a year.
No, it's very simple. It's your total tax, state, federal, everything. You know, because Puerto Rico is a territory, right? And you don't have to pay federal tax, right?
Yep.
If you move to Spain, it's another country. You do have to pay federal tax after a certain point. After I think 150,000, everything above that you
got it.
So it's you only can do this with territories, and Puerto Rico is by far the best territory to live in, right? Because it's like an actual real country with actual real everything and have culture, and it's like, you know, real.
It's real.
You know, I mean, like the Virgin Islands,
It has crime.
like this little. Oh yeah, it's got
Right?
it's got
It has
some crime.
hurricanes.
Yeah, it does have hurricanes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real life. It's real life. So, but the tax benefit is super simple, right? And basically, your total tax, your federal tax, your state tax, all your tax is 4%.
Oh, so wait, let me just dummy this down. So if you make $1 million a year, you may typically own $300,000 to $400,000 in that scenario. What I heard you say is you would basically owe $40,000.
You would owe $40,000.
Wow.
Yep.
Now, do you do that, or you're not there yet?
So I
do it?
I tried to do it for this year, but I wasn't gonna be able to leave.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Like I waited until the last minute. I was like, I was gonna get like 3 days in the U.S.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't gonna make it. So but my application's in. This is the most important thing: is you got to get your application in. Because when you get your application in, it gets time stamped, and that's the law of then is the law you get. And the crazy thing about this is it's a 35-year contract with the government. It's not even in a law. So like if they're going to try to repeal your tax benefits for 35 years, they have to go through like legislation to do it. Or no, sorry, they have to go through the court, and then like you can sue them, and like you're going to win because it's a contract.
So it's in 2022 right now, and it's October 1st.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Do you have to do it within that calendar year? Like, how does that game work?
So I think you have till the next year. I think you have 365 days to actually move there. So I'm going to start my days I'm January 1st, 2020. Probably then I'm going to be there. But I'm going to be there, and I'm going to do my 6 months as early as possible. You want to get, as far as I can tell, everyone's much happier if they get their 6 months done and then they have free time. But, you know, I'm going to have a lot of, I'm going to be traveling for speaking engagements, that kind of stuff. So
all right, so let's play with that. Because Ryan is making some massive moves right now. So he's going to be speaking a lot, and he's joining many other partnerships and ecosystems that are giving him a stage and a microphone, which allows his business to grow. So if you're in Puerto Rico, let's say from January 1st to July 15th.
Yeah.
But during that time, you're flying out for 2 or 3 days at a time to speak and do other things. You got to make up those days, right?
Yeah, in Puerto Rico, yeah.
Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah.
So although the tax benefit's incredible, you know, you're coming from the place of, guys, don't call me if you're looking to kind of get around it. There's not, how do they know you're there? You do it 183 days, period, end of story, you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
There's no game, there's no like sneaky thing to do that you would endorse, obviously.
Yeah, no, well,
you're going to keep it real and keep it straight.
Well, and I also don't even sell this. So they wouldn't even, I would say, go talk to my accountant.
Yes.
Because I have my business.
Yeah, he's not offering that. He's focused on
very
nurses.
specific. Not travel nurses. It's just anyone with a part-time business.
So you're focused on family business. Home office.
Home office, yeah. The solopreneur would be the...
Solopreneur.
Yeah.
We love solopreneurs.
Exactly.
All day long, every day, twice on Sunday. Call us. So,
that's, and then the travel nurse is where we got started. And that's, I think it's a really important point for your audiences.
Yeah.
It was just a niche that needed us, but that doesn't mean that's the end of where we're going. You know what I mean? But we were able to build our business and get it to the point where it is now, where we can start reaching out to other communities, and where we can get the stage at other communities.
And I'm not going to give you a price that's for you to say, but you're offering a price that's so heavily discounted from the norm.
Yeah,
it's almost like they'd be crazy not to call you.
Yeah. So our price is $1,200, which is literally 1/5 of the national average. And what it is it's bookkeeping, business taxes, and personal taxes, right?
Yeah.
You get all of that for $1,200. Literally, the national average on that, $5,800.
Yeah. Plus, they get access to the planning side for us, where we would do a free look under the hood, no obligation, doesn't cost any money.
Absolutely.
Just if somebody's looking for financial education, if in fact you're watching us and it's raw, we'll make sure that we have Ryan's information down below so you can reach to him directly.
Yeah, and then there's one other point I want to make about that. It's not just inexpensive; it is also full service concierge. So what that means is that it is our goal that our clients spend less than 2 hours a year on our taxes. We're not charging you a little bit and making you do all the work. We're doing all the work for you, right? And that's super important. And so the process, and it just helps people understand the process. You send us your bank statements. Right? We take them, even if they're commingled. There's nothing you can do to fuck up such that we can't do your taxes. There's just literally nothing you can do to fuck up such that we can do your taxes no matter what you did, no matter what your dirty little secrets are. We can do your taxes. It's not a problem. You send us your bank statements. We create a book. And based on your business, what you tell us about your business, we create your bookkeeping. The bookkeeping goes to you. You get to look it over and say, is it what's right? What's wrong? Is this, fix it, right? And once that's done, all we have is some more questions to ask. And then that goes to our team, and then we make your taxes, and that's it. That's it.
The F-bombs are flying, but that doesn't mean that the strategy isn't right. So you got to check out Ryan Moriarty because he's going to double check it twice.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to get into your math. You can decide, but you made a load of money on Facebook at one point, yes?
Yeah, I did.
Can you share with the group what you were doing there?
Yeah.
Scientifically, double major, PhD, player-hated degree, what you were doing there and what it resulted in, but also, the takeaway.
Yeah, absolutely. So I made a bunch of money doing memes on Facebook after my PhD in cryptography. I got my PhD in cryptography. I went and did memes on Facebook.
I don't even know what cryptography is. I have an idea what memes are, but it just tells you that whatever you go to school for may not translate into the business that you're in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what we did is we had I'll tell the longer story since we're on a podcast here. I got a couple versions of it.
Keep it simple, but not too long.
Okay, yeah. All right. I had a Facebook page, right? And it had 1 million people in it from whatever I did to get it. How'd
you get 1 million people on the page? That's what everyone wants to know.
Yeah. So we had a bunch of apps for the YouTube, Facebook business, right?
Yep.
All right. So this is super funny. They all had, they were, it was a bunch of, it was an app for every channel, right?
Yep.
And so they all had different names, and what would happen is they would like the app of the channel, the actual Facebook page of the channel, but then they would like the app page. Every app had a page as well, so they'd like that as well.
Yeah.
All right. So once the business ended, So then at Facebook said, we're getting rid of app fan pages, so you can transfer this to a regular Facebook page, but it has to have the same name.
Yep.
All right, so that's it's not really that useful to me. I got all these disparate apps and all these disparate likes.
Yep.
So I changed all the apps' names programmatically to the same thing. I created a Facebook page of the same thing, and I transferred it over to the one page.
So you followed the direction.
Yeah, exactly. I just changed exactly.
Yeah.
So the names match.
Seems logical. 1 million viewers.
So what happened was, it was super funny because it started they transferred over slowly. So it started, the number, I could see the number, hit refresh and see the number. It was like 100,000. I was like, oh, cool. Like 200,000. I was like, oh, this is great. It was like 300,000. I was like, oh, okay. Then I come back later and it's like 600,000. Like, I did not know that. And then all of a sudden, by the time it was done, 1.3 million.
Oh my God, was that like hitting a lotto ticket?
Yeah, man. It was. I was excited.
Did you know right away you can monetize? Like, were you aware of what you could do, or
no? Right away. Shortly thereafter, I started to try to monetize it, and I got banned from Facebook for 30 days for something else. I think I don't remember what it was.
But did anyone teach you anything, strategies? Or?
Well, no. We were making money. We figured out how to make money on the Facebook apps, which was running ads.
Okay.
And that's how I made money, is running ads.
Got it.
Right. And so I knew how to run ads, and so I knew with this Facebook page, if I could get these people over to a website, I could run ads.
Got it.
And that's what I did. I created eventually, it was a long time in between, but eventually I was able to create a website, which was literally a funny picture website.
Yep.
It was Tip Top Lols was the name of it. Maybe some people out there were a fan of this Facebook page. And you would head over to the you'd head over my page and I'd run ads on it. And then,
amazing.
Yeah. And when it first started,
super
it was
cool.
6 figures a year in Santa Monica on my Facebook page. But that was going down real fast.
Real quick, was there a lot of work every day? Were you grinding? Were you bringing it daily?
Well, I had to program it. So once I had to get it programmed up, and then also I had to program the website, right?
Yeah.
And so I had to build those things, and then I had to run Google AdSense, and then I had to find pictures. Actually, was the hardest thing, was finding pictures. That was.
Does this cost a lot of money? What you're describing?
No.
Okay.
It was
$0.
$0.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like $30.
It's not my skill set.
$30 a month for a server. That's it. Yeah. So so now it was decreasing fast, right? Like how much I can make.
And you didn't know why.
No, I know, because Facebook, your traffic always goes down unless it's going up.
Got
right?
it.
You know that, right? Yeah. Unless your traffic's going up, it's going down.
Yes, it doesn't stay still.
Yeah, it doesn't stay still. No.
Yep.
So it was going down, but then I had this. There was this app hack, and this was the first time I ever made $2,800 a day. And what's significant? I make $2,800 a day. This is $1 million a year.
20, including Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah, because the internet runs all the time. So you can, you probably can't do this in your business, but with an internet, with a media company, you can do this. You know what I mean? You just take how much money you're making today, how many days are there in the year.
We can do on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Sunday is actually one of the best. Is the best day. Monday and Sunday are the best days for media. Yeah.
So you make it $2,800 a year.
Yeah, $2,800 a day. Yeah. And I remember this was so awesome, man.
Just hitting your checking account, right? Boom, boom,
No. It's in a Google account. It comes out every month. So like, I think the first month was like 40,000 when this happened. And but I remember this. I went out to celebrate. I took my girlfriend out to dinner, right? And it was I took her to a fancy restaurant, right? And it was awesome. We had a great time. And the check comes at the end, and I could also check how much money I was making. Yeah. I made more money at dinner than the fancy dinner cost.
The rest, yeah.
I was like, I could just go to fancy dinners for the rest of my life. Yeah. Which I do not recommend as an investment strategy.
No.
but it's,
by the way, quick question though.
Yeah.
Let me freeze it.
Yeah.
Now you know what happened. They pulled away. If anything, what would you do different? If you can go right back to that, what was it, like over 2 or 3 years when you were kind of questioning it?
I haven't started crushing it yet. This was temporary. This went away real quick.
Okay.
So they whatever the app loophole was, they sewed it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you learned something though.
Yeah,
like there was something you could do.
Yeah. I got to 600 in the US on Alexa, which is like the website, traffic rankings. We were above pizzahut.com and playboy.com.
Wow.
Yeah, it was for a month, you know what I mean? Wow. Like we got more traffic that month. But it's media. Media's different.
But what would you do different though now that you know that?
Oh man. What would I do different?
Not to change what you were doing, but like where would you deploy capital?
Now
that's all I mean. You're making that money.
Yeah, no, not fancy dinners. Yeah. Well, so it turns out I needed that money and I put it into my business. So it actually did a pretty good job.
So you did the right thing.
Yeah. And I wasn't spending too much.
Relative. Yep.
Yeah. So that went on for just a few months, you know what I mean? And then they sewed up the app loophole, and then but I had banked during that time, maybe like 100,000 or so, you know? And so I had that money and I was sitting on it and I knew that my Facebook page was making money and I'd written all this software to, make my Facebook page money. But there were all these other Facebook pages and they weren't making money.
Got it.
And no one was monetizing their Facebook page at this point. And I looked around and I knew this person would be making $20,000 a year. This person would be making $10,000 a year.
Yep.
And I'd been, I'd platformed stuff before. So I just took my software and I platformed it and I got people to sign up and start using my software to monetize their Facebook pages.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can people still do that?
You have to do it different ways. Like the way I was doing it is they would post a link to my website.
Yeah.
And I would run Google AdSense and I would give them like 70% and I keep 30%.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys taking notes or what? There's some really good stuff here. So,
can you still do that? Not. You can't do that specifically. You can't push traffic.
But there's
to other
some kind
websites.
of other strategy.
But you
I'm
can.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing is to have a page specific to something like like what you do or like accounting, like I do, so that you can get leads and turn your customers.
But even the page you got though, did you develop that 10,000 person page or you just took it?
No, the million person page. You mean?
No, the nurses.
That was developed. Yes.
And how long did that take to get to 10,000?
That took one tax season.
Okay, so all right, but you had to do something to get that traffic your way, right?
Yeah. So we would post answers to questions, travel
pages,
on other groups. Yeah,
okay.
And we'd be like, hey, check out our group. And
is that all really?
Yeah. Well, also,
did you have a big team or
no? I mean, it wasn't that many posts, but also, I mean, I think it got into the it got as a kind of a viral group, and I think people added. Travel nurses have a lot of problems with taxes. Okay. They need help, right? So this is like,
so you had a good hot topic.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the hottest topics in these groups. Yeah, taxes is like always. They're always talking about taxes. That's what we were able to do. What we were able to do.
Now, do you do that as a side hustle for consult for people? That strategy is that something you would ever do? Like, if somebody reached out and said, "Hey, I'm going to give you X amount of money to consult. Can you help me build up my page?" If somebody said that,
no.
Hey, that guy Ryan. No. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'm busy.
So it's a lot of
time.
Thing.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, and
okay.
you don't. I mean, in my opinion, you don't want to distract yourself. You have your main thing.
Yeah.
Until your main thing is running on its own.
Yeah.
Free. Then focus on your main thing.
Yeah. It just sounds like you're onto some in that space. You always do well. somehow.
Yeah. I mean, I think it. I think that. Yeah, man, it worked out.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. It worked out.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So I had the good fortune of meeting Ryan, and it was a speaker this weekend, and he was so excited about it because Ryan understands the importance of ecosystem merging. I won't say the number, but he offered this person X amount of money to go sit in a car with him for 20 minutes to pick his brain. Would you do that? And I would say yes, I would, if I had that proximity and I could spend 20 minutes with someone that is worth $250 million, that gets over, let's say 5 million views on all of his different channels, that his company produces 8,000 leads a month. Yeah, I think I would do something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was amazing that you did that.
Yeah,
brother.
it was 1 hour because it was from LBI to Atlantic City.
Yep.
So it was 1 hour and it was $10,000.
And did you?
But I didn't have to pay. I didn't pay him. I paid
$10,000.
It was for his foundation,
And he paid
which
the
was
foundation.
for
even
Ukraine.
stronger.
So I mean, win.
Yeah.
And it was cool because they were auctioning off things, right? And they're talking about how it's super valuable because you get to ride in his private jet and you get to talk to him in his private jet. Yeah. And so that they were offering me stuff, and he was on the stage, and I was like, I walk up to him, I go, hey man, you going to the airport? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, you got an extra seat in the car? He goes, if you do, I got $10,000 for you.
And he said yes.
And
Not at first, he wanted to check the seat.
He had to make sure there was a seat. He had to make sure there was a seat, and then
he was acting in integrity.
Yeah. And then he said yes. We had talked earlier about my business, right?
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense for us to work together. He has access to so many solopreneurs. You know what I mean? He does.
A lot.
And also what I built is special because we're doing it at 1/5 the cost of what's out there. There's something special in what I built, and I can scale it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it made sense. And I talked to his guy the night before we had some similar connections. He actually sold his security company to an accounting firm. And so we were talking accounting for an hour the night before. And I knew we were supposed to have a meeting that day, but his meeting with Sean ran over, right?
Yeah.
And probably about this same thing. So things were primed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I needed that meeting. I didn't want to cool off. I didn't want the time to cool off. I wanted to get that done, and it was my birthday.
So folks, in sales, we don't close anybody. We have formation agreements, but to get to a formation agreement, there's a thing called zone action. Zone action means to be able to act instantly in a way with a Zeus mindset, of course, with integrity. And what Ryan described after building rapport the day before, and having the connective tissue of the intro person to Chris, right, in a background, he exercised zone action. There's so many folks that get to the point of formation agreement, but they don't go with zone action. They can't understand the power of momentum. And that was a very, very good distinction. This is a good clip right here. That was powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes I forget about that.
Yeah.
And the way you did that, I kind of saw the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning of it. I thought it was pretty incredible.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I really admired that.
Yeah.
By the way, he has a dog that, is it spray painted?
No, it's dyed. It's dyed.
Dyed.
It is blue, bro. It's blue, bro. I know it fades to a purple. It's a blue that fades to a purple. Swifty the dog.
Yeah, and when you see...
Like Rick and Morty, Swifty.
Yeah, and when you see Ryan walking down the block, you see a linebacker coming at you, but a dog that's this big. It's an incredible sight. But listen, man, how could these folks get in touch with you for anything you want? If anyone wants to personally meet out?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the best thing to do, let's see, what is the best way to get in touch with me? We'll drop a link. We can drop a link.
Absolutely.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is, so to talk to me, the best thing to do is go through my.
And what's the Facebook page if they want to check that out real fast?
Oh, Travel Nurse Tax Center. It's called Travel Nurse Tax Center.
Travel Nurse Tax Center. You can check out the Facebook page.
Yeah, that's the group. And then the website's hbbacct.com. HBB, home-based business.
HBB, HBB, ACCT.com. Word to your mom.
But the best way is going to be I'll leave a link to my tax strategist, so you can talk to directly. We offer free consultations, and you'll know if what we can do will help you. Which the answer is,
he'll meet you on the corner. Just give him a call. He'll know exactly where you are. He'll be traveling all around the world the whole time.
867-5309.
867-5309. Quick question. That was a song. That's not a phone number. Quick question, because you're on a roll. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh man.
Notice the voice shift?
No.
Did you notice the tonality?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Are you feeling the formula?
Yeah, I felt I had to drop in. So that has changed. I mean, working on a deal with Chris Crone. It's looking real positive. He said, on his social media, we're going to do it. So I believe that we are going to do it. That took my 3-year plan. I was hoping for 10 million revenue in 3 years.
You just put you on the elevator.
That put it to my 4-month plan.
Ooh,
so that changes everything. You know what I mean? So I
wow.
had this 3-year plan out, and that getting it done in 4 months would be a lot better.
So, dude, thank you so much for being on here.
Yeah.
By the way, go ahead and click the link below if you have any questions. Obviously, I want you to put questions inside the comment section. If you have any comments, please add some comments. I think Ryan's journey has been incredible. And when you learn more about it, we're going to do a little bit more video series on exactly what he has done and who he is. But to be able to be on the journey that he's on and what he's been able to accomplish and the intuitive nature of his thinking from an entrepreneur standpoint, to me, is incredible. Go ahead and click that link. And once again, we're going to be pushing out content on a daily basis. Continue to follow, like, and share. And thank you so much for being part of the show. Brother, thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man.
Yep.
Have a good day.
Sure. Yeah, you too.